Hello friends, a warm welcome from Aussie's group. My name is Malcolm and I'm your PT coach. Wherever you are right now, whether you are in India, whether you're in Australia, a warm welcome from all of us. And every Friday I'm here with a new live session, and generally I never miss the live sessions because I really like to be a part of these sessions. Well, the purpose of today's live session is it's mainly like a question and answer session, so that you can post in your questions in the comment section and I can have a look at those questions and I can answer your queries. And try to be as specific as you can be, and then I'll try to be as specific as I can be in answering your questions. Because it's just in the details of everything that the main score lies. If you make mistakes in the important tasks, then obviously the score goes down very quickly, and that's one of the main reasons people don't get 79 each or 65 each or 50 each in their first attempt. I mean, it's easy to make mistakes, and every mistake you make, there can be a huge penalty on your score. So need to be a bit careful about what to do and what not to do in the important tasks. Well, I've given enough discussion on this, and now let's start the session. So feel free to post in your comments as soon as you can think of a question. Well, one more thing is that many people I've seen, they make a lot of mistakes in the first task itself, which is read aloud. And definitely read aloud is a very important task, and it's very easy to make mistakes as well. And obviously if we make mistakes, the score goes down very quickly. So need to be very careful about read aloud, definitely. One more thing which matters a lot obviously is in repeat sentence. Like, many people get disturbed very easily because people next to us can be very loud at times, and if we fumble or if we hesitate while we are repeating the sentence in the speaking part, then again the score goes down. So need to be very clear when you're reading aloud, and need to be as accurate as you can be in repeat sentence also. Well, there's a comment from Vikas. He's saying hello. So hello to you too, Vikas. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining in this live session. Well, one more thing is that many times people do a lot of mic testing before they start the test, and few people who have taken the test a couple of times, they know exactly what the instructions in the test are, and they try to start the test as soon as they sit on the screen, as soon as they sit on the seat, because they don't want to waste time. Now, sometimes people can be a bit too loud in the speaking part, and because of that, it's very difficult to concentrate. So just imagine that if you are a first-time PT test taker and people around you are really loud, then obviously it's going to be difficult to concentrate. So don't waste too much time when you start the test. Just be a bit quick and try to get in the grip of things as quickly as you can. Okay, I got a comment from Mehakir Rani, and her comment is that, hello sir, my listening score is same 57 after few attempts. How can I improve the score in listening? Well, the first thing we need to understand obviously is that listening is linked very heavily to speaking. There's a very close correlation between how you speak, because in speaking there are 3 tasks which are integrated with listening. One is repeat sentence, second is retell lecture, and third is answer short questions. So if you want to improve your listening score significantly, then focus on repeat sentence a lot. Until we are good at this task, the software doesn't give a high score in listening. And there should be no hesitation, there should be no false starts, and there should be no extra pauses, and no sounds like no thinking pauses should be there in repeat sentence. Similarly, in retell lecture, try to focus on fluency, and also try to cover as many main keywords from the lecture as you can in your answer. So don't speak too fast, don't be too slow. If both of these things happen, the score of listening again goes down. So that is one more problem with listening and speaking. A third task which very few people take care of is answer short questions. Now remember, answer short questions can have a huge impact on the listening score, because if multiple answers are incorrect, then the listening score goes down very quickly. So just need to be a bit careful about answer short questions, because I've seen many times many tutors and many people take it very lightly. They don't understand the importance of answer short questions because maybe they don't know how the software works. But I think I have understood how the software works, and according to me, answer short questions plays a vital role in the listening score. So try to be as accurate as you can be with answer short questions. The other tasks which contribute significantly to listening are summarize spoken text, and more than that would be fill in the blanks in the listening section, and last but not the least, write from dictations. So try to be super accurate in these tasks. As I said, one is repeat sentence, second is answer short questions, third is summarize spoken text, fourth is listening, fill in the blanks, fifth is write from dictation. These 5 tasks can improve your listening score a lot. So I hope I answered your question. And one more thing is that if you make any mistakes in summarize spoken text or write from dictation or the listening, fill in the blanks, then these tasks have a very significant impact on the listening score. So need to be very careful, and especially in tasks where you listen and you type. If you are not sure about a word, my suggestion is don't write that word, because the score goes down very quickly. So that's one of the problems. Thank you. Well, I've got another question which is from Vikas, and Vikas is asking how to speak in read aloud. Now Vikas, in read aloud we should try to speak the way I am speaking right now. It should not be too slow, it should not be too fast, and ideally we should not take very lengthy pauses between the sentences. Fourth thing, also the way in which we speak ideally should be a very normal way, and try not to stress too much on the words, because a lot of intonation at the wrong places is not good for the score. The score definitely comes down very quickly. So we need to be a bit flat the way we speak, and don't take very lengthy pauses, and obviously we should not be too fast as well. If we are too fast, the software doesn't understand what we are saying. If we are too slow, again it's going to be a problem. So need to be a bit careful with the way we speak and read aloud. But the speed of speaking should be ideally this speed. This speed is not fast, this speed is not slow. Every word I say is very clear to understand, and it's very fluent the way I'm speaking, and the software definitely will give me a 90. If you speak the way I'm speaking right now, the software will give you a 90 as well. It's very fluent, there are no false starts, there is no hesitation in my voice at all. The confidence level is very high, and obviously it's very clear. The pronunciation of every word is very clear. The syllables and the vowels and the consonants, everything is heard very clearly the way I'm speaking right now. That's what I think. Thank you. Well, there is a question from Durairaj Mutaraja. Hi Malcolm, please advise about repeat sentence. Now for repeat sentence, I always say that we need to be very fluent, and the instruction is that we need to repeat the sentence exactly as we hear it. We should not add words, and obviously we should not remove words from the audio script which we hear. And that's why a lot of practice is required sometimes for few people in repeat sentence, because it's mainly a part of your short-term memory as well. So some people do not have that good a memory. So the thing is, you need to develop the memory. I mean, it's not impossible, but yeah, it does take some time for a few people, and it will not improve overnight. So basically, you just need to practice a bit. Now, whenever we practice repeat sentence, then try to practice at least like 30 questions very quickly, and never check the answers. Whenever people ask me like what is the best technique to improve repeat sentence, I always say like practice at least 30 questions very quickly, and by very quickly I mean 10 minutes for 30 questions, that's it. So in 1 minute you practice 3 questions, listen to the audio, repeat the answer, don't check the answer. Biggest mistake which people make while they practice is that they check the answer. Now in the real exam we don't get any time to check our answers, and obviously we cannot do that. So why should we do that when we are practicing? So even when you practice, just think that you are taking the real exam and do like 30-40 questions very quickly, and record your whole session on your phone. And at the end of that session, then check your answers, So you practice for 10 minutes, 30 questions, then check for further 10 minutes like what you were speaking. But when you are practicing, don't check, don't stop. That's the main thing. Well, Vikas has a question, how to speak EG? When we have to speak EG or example in read aloud. Now, of course, you can say EG, you can say example, both are correct. Because PT says that you need to read aloud naturally. Naturally means as you do in your day-to-day life. So I think PT would have also expected what you would say if you see EG on your screen. So basically both the answers would be valid, EG or example. But generally PT doesn't ask such words in read aloud. Again, I'm saying generally, sometimes it might, I don't know. So basically use your common sense, and both would be acceptable forms of the word, EG or example. If you say e.g., that's not wrong. If you say example, again, that's not wrong. So it's okay, both are correct. Alright, I'm just trying to find out more comments which people have left. I think Upreet has a comment. So just give me a second, please, Upreet. I'm trying to find out your comment. And it would be great if you could just leave your question again in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer it because I'm not able to see your comment. Well, Hassan has a question. Hi, my problem is when should I start an answer short question and repeat sentence? The reason I'm asking is that there is no time, just blue bars. You're absolutely right, Hassan. There are two tasks in the speaking section where there is no beep after the recording ends or after the question ends. You have to start on your own. And the best time to start the answer is only when the first bar moves on the screen. So as soon as you see the actual recording bar move, you see the blue bar move on your screen, at that time itself, you should give your answer. If you don't speak for more than 3 seconds, remember the mic stops recording your answer, and then again there's going to be a penalty. So just need to be a bit quick-witted about it. We can't think too much. We have to be fluent. So you listen very carefully and answer as quickly as you can. That's the best way and the best time to start. And as soon as your answer is finished, please click next immediately. Don't wait for the bar to reach the end. Because as I said, the software doesn't like silence. A lot of silence is not good for the score. So try to click next as soon as you can. Alright, thank you very much. Well, I got a comment from Janpreet. How to score higher? But how to score higher in what, Janpreet? If you could just comment or try to be a bit specific with your question, that will be more helpful. I can answer in a better way. Well, thank you. Alright. There's one more comment from Durairaj. Most helpful and useful tips and tricks to score 79 plus. Well, the main thing is obviously we need to be very fluent in the speaking part. There should be no extra pauses, no something like that. And just try not to fumble and make mistake and repeat words. Similarly, in tasks like repeat sentence, these are very important tasks. So we need to be as accurate as we can when we are repeating the sentence. All the writing tasks need to be very careful that we don't make any spelling mistakes or we don't make any typing or silly grammar mistakes, because every mistake you make, the score goes down very quickly. In the reading section, try to take more time in fill in the blanks and reorder paragraphs, and fill in the blanks definitely have the highest weight of marks out of all the tasks in reading. So you get a lot of marks in reading from the blanks. Whether they are drag and drop blanks or drop down blanks, doesn't matter. Blanks are blanks and both are very important. So just be very careful about these tasks. And in listening, need to be very careful about summarize spoken text, listening, fill in the blanks, and write from dictation. These are the main tasks where people make mistakes. Now, if we make mistakes, the score goes down, unfortunately. Okay, now Janpreet has a comment. How to improve the score in SST. SST, for those of you who don't know, is summarize spoken text, which is the first task in listening. Well, Janpreet, to get a high score in summarize spoken text, what you can do, just pick up the main words from the passage, and if you're not sure about that word, try not to include it in your answer. Secondly, generally the main words would be the nouns. Always try to find out the main nouns in the audio and try to include them in your answer. They are very important for a high score. Fourthly, in case you're following any structure or anything, just be very careful that you don't make any grammar mistakes. And the fifth thing is spellings and grammar have a very high weight in the writing score. And even if you make a single mistake, the score goes down very quickly. So sometimes what happens, people follow everything perfectly, but they make one very silly mistake, either grammar or spelling. I don't know, maybe one of these two. And as I said, the score goes down very quickly. So that's what we need to take care of in summarize spoken text. Ideally, it should have no mistakes. That is the main thing. If you're not sure of a word, please don't write that. Very simple. Thank you. Well, Dash Patel has a comment. Good to see you, and good to see you as well, Dash. Thank you. I want to know about WFD. Is it make any difference if you get 4 instead of 3? I mean, do we get good marks? Of course, yes. If you get more questions for write from dictation, of course, there's a high chance you'll get a better score in listening and writing if you don't make mistakes. Because write from dictation is an integrated task, and in integrated tasks, it's always better if you get more questions because you get marks in 2 things at the same time, right? Write from dictation. First you listen, then you write. So you get marks for listening and writing both. And that's why it's better if you get 4 questions. That's pretty much better than 3. I hope I answered your question. Thank you. So friends, I think I answered almost all the questions, and mainly it's just about not making mistakes. The test is really easy in my opinion. For some people it's very difficult because maybe they don't speak in the right way, or they make very silly mistakes in spelling or grammar, and that's why the score goes down a lot. Sometimes people follow everything what their tutor tells them to do in the test, but they make a very silly mistake in few of the major tasks, So again, the score is not as per the expectations. So even for everybody who is very close to their desired score, I always suggest that, don't be too disheartened or too demotivated if you don't get your score. Even in 2 or 3 attempts, it's okay because it's a test. Just try to understand where you're making mistakes and just see that you don't make those silly mistakes again and again. Because it's those silly mistakes because of which people don't get their desired scores in tests like PTE. Well, I think I've answered most of the questions, and the other thing, very important thing, is that the prediction file for the month of August 2019, that's the next month, is ready, and the link has been shared or will be shared very soon in the comment section by Bhavesh. Bhavesh is the main coordinator of PTE tutorials, and he will be sharing the link very soon. I'm sure the link has been shared also on the Telegram group. So just have an eye on the updated prediction file for the month of August. A lot of questions are there. So here it is. The prediction file for the month of July is what I see. Bhavesh has posted it. And I think for the month of August also will be posted very soon. So keep an eye on that. That's going to be very helpful for the month of August. New questions for write from dictation have been added. And also new questions for, I think, repeat sentence and read alouds have been added. Few of those are new. So just have an eye on that as well. Well, one other update which I'd like to give you, few of the students have been coming across questions in the reading section, and few of those have been also new questions, which means that maybe, I'm just saying maybe, PTE has added a couple of new questions in the reading section. So mentally be prepared that the reading section in your test could be a bit difficult. I'm not saying it will be, but it could be. Because my students have been telling me that they've been getting new questions in reading, either blanks or reorders or in both. So maybe PTE has added a new set of questions in this month. That's why a few questions have been coming a bit difficult, But at the same time, few questions will be very easy. Like write from dictations could be really easy. Listening blanks could be really easy. Summaries could be very easy. The essay which you get could be very easy. Words in read aloud could be really easy, nothing difficult. So to compensate the level of one thing, something will be made easier in the test. So just think of it like that. And eventually I always say that the more difficult the text, the higher the chances of getting a better score. If the test is too easy, even if you make a single mistake, the score goes down very quickly. And if the test is very difficult, the software always gives, some scope of errors. So that's why it's okay to have a difficult test, nothing too bad about it. Just try not to make mistakes. That's the main thing. Okay. Alright, I've got a question from Hassan again. Could you tell me where you teach? Thank you. So I teach Melbourne CBD. That's the main center of the city in Melbourne. So that's where I teach. And we've got 2 branches in Melbourne CBD. One is on Collins Street. That's 290 Collins Street. And the other is on 7/9 Elizabeth Street. Both are very close to Flinders Street Station. That's the main station in the heart of the city. So in case you're interested, you can definitely join the classes. Thank you. Well, Nisha has a comment, and that's, I need 65 plus. Alright, I can understand that you need 65 plus, and for that, what can I do? You please tell me, I'll do that. So if you have any specific question, please comment. I will be more than happy to answer it. And yeah, if you need 65 plus, try to work mainly on your speaking skills. You need to get a full score or 90 out of 90 in speaking. Also be very careful in tasks like read aloud, listening, fill in the blanks, reorder paragraphs, write from dictation, listening, fill in the blanks, summarize spoken text. And also in the essay and the writing summaries, just see that you don't make any silly mistakes of spelling or grammar. Because I read your comment now which says that you're stuck generally around 63 or 64, And if you focus on the tasks as I just mentioned, you'll get a very high score. And I should also include the task of repeat sentence, in which you should improve if you want a high score in listening. Alright, thank you. Well, one other very important announcement is that next weekend, that's the 3rd and the 4th of August, I'm having my live online session. That's going to be the live masterclass. It's divided between 2 days, 4 hours each, 4 hours on Saturday and 4 hours on Sunday. I'll be covering 2 modules on each day. So speaking and writing will be next Saturday, and reading and listening will be on Sunday. And the time is set very conveniently so that people around the world can attend it. But this masterclass is mainly for people who are not in Australia, people mainly who are in India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, South America, Africa. So anybody is, more than free to welcome to join this class. It's going to be held next Saturday and next Sunday. So I hope you can join the class, and it's going to be a very helpful one as well. Well, Nisha has one more comment. I want 79 each, but I'm always stuck in the listening section. Please give me some tips for listening. Well, for listening, Nisha, as I said, you need to be spot on or really accurate in repeat sentence. So try to improve yourself more and more every day. Practice at least 30 questions very quickly in 10 minutes every morning for repeat sentence. And don't check the answer after you repeat a sentence. Record your whole session of 10 minutes and then listen to your own answers. You'll improve much faster. Also, to improve your listening score, you need to be very accurate in listening, fill in the blanks, in summarize spoken text, and in write from dictation. These tasks contribute a lot to the listening score. And last but not the least, also try your best to be very accurate in answer short questions. If these tasks are accurate, generally you get a very, very high score. So that's my suggestion to you. Alright, so I think I've covered most of the important tasks, like read aloud, repeat sentence, answer short questions. Also, in the summaries and the essays, there should be no typing or spelling mistakes. And in reading blanks, we need to be very accurate. Also, in listening summaries, we need to be very accurate. Well, one more thing. In the month of July itself, that is this month, more than 9 students have got a score of a perfect 90. I think 10 students have got 90. And out of those, around, I think 3 have got 90 each as well. 3 or 4 students, if I'm not mistaken. And that's, I'm talking only in one branch in Melbourne CBD, my own students. So what I'm trying to say, it's pretty easy to get 90 out of 90 in every module in PT if you follow the techniques and if you follow the strategies. And if you don't make mistakes in the main tasks, the software always gives a full score. Even if you make some silly mistakes in the other tasks, if you're accurate in the main task, it will be compensating the mistakes in the other non-important tasks. And one of the most important tasks is reading and writing fill in the blanks. That is the drop down blanks in the reading section. It's very, very vital that you're almost 100% accurate in that task, because that contributes greatly to reading and writing both the scores. Thank you very much. Well, Parth Gajjar has a comment. Sir, your methods are tremendous. Well, Parth, thank you so much for your comment. Really appreciate you taking out the time to view the video. For those of you who don't know, Parth Gajjar is one of my students. He just got 8 each this month, in the beginning of the month, and it was his first attempt after 1.5 years. I believe he's from Ahmedabad in India. I'm not sure, but yeah, definitely he's from Gujarat in India. And in his last attempt, he did not have such a good score. That was almost 1.5 or 2 years back in 2017. And finally, in 2019, he took the test after a long break. And in his first attempt, he got 8 each. I think he has a Gujarati background, but still he got 8 each. So the background doesn't matter. Whether you're from any part in India doesn't matter. As he said, if you follow the techniques correctly and if you put in your effort, you definitely get your score. And he was putting in a lot of efforts, I think around 6 or 7 hours a day in the last 1 or 2 weeks. So definitely that paid him off. Thank you. Well, Upreet has a comment. Any recommendations for the reading section? Thank you. Yes, Upreet, definitely. For the reading section, the first task, which is reading and writing fill in the blanks, is the most important task. And to improve blanks, 2 things have to be sorted. One is the vocabulary, second is grammar. Vocabulary and grammar go hand in hand. If these 2 things are good, nobody can stop us from getting 79 in reading. And to complement these skills, you also need to be good at read aloud. Read aloud is the first task in the test, as you already would know. So try to be as accurate as you can be with your read alouds as well. Last but not the least, even the task of summarize written text is very important for the reading score. And similarly, the task of reorder paragraphs also contributes to the reading score significantly sometimes. So try to be very accurate with these 4 or 5 main tasks of reading. Thank you. And yes, Parth is commenting that he's from Ahmedabad. Thanks for the comment, Parth. Even I'm from Ahmedabad. Good to know that. And congratulations once again. So friends, I think with this, we'll wrap up today's live session. And as I said, the masterclass, which is the first online masterclass which I'll be taking. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm one of the most experienced tutors with Aussies group. I've been with the group since a long time. And many of the tutors at PTE Tutorials and in Aussies group have been trained by me. So it's your best opportunity, I think, if you want to get to know the techniques of the test, if you want to know where you're making those silly mistakes, just join the next week's masterclass. And if you join all the 4 modules, you also get a complimentary discount, So just have a look. It's going to be very helpful and you can't afford to miss it, in my opinion. Well, one comment, how much marks does essay contribute in writing? Well, generally it's close to around 10 to 14 marks, depends on the essay. But round figure, you can expect it to be somewhere around 10 to 14 marks, the contribution for the of the essay to the writing score. I hope I answered your question. Thank you. And yeah, one more comment from Diksha Dhawan. How to improve summarized written text? Well, the best way to improve summarized written text is don't write too many words on your own. Try to keep as many words same as possible from the passage. So no need to copy paste everything, but if you're going to change words, just think whether what you're writing makes sense or not, Sometimes people just change suddenly and just change words with synonyms, and I mean, such things don't make sense sometimes to the software, So if you're not sure about any synonyms, don't change anything, keep everything the same. I mean, just simple words, you play around with them, main words, don't touch them. Thank you. Well, suddenly a lot of comments are there, so I'll try my best to answer them quickly. There's a comment from Manju. For summarized spoken text, how many keywords are required to get 79 plus? And should it be a complex or a compound sentence? So no, it's not necessary that you write a compound or a complex sentence. You can also write simple sentences. And to get 79 plus score, you need at least 50 words, because 50 is the minimum requirement of words. So it's not that if you write more words, you get more marks. It's not like that. It can be anything between 50 to 70. If you don't make mistakes, you get a very good score. So don't worry about the words. Just worry about the quality of the words in your answer and just see that you don't make spelling or grammar mistakes. Thank you. Well, Anju has a comment. Is it compulsory to write more than 200 words in essay to get 65 plus? Yes, definitely it's compulsory, because if you don't write 65 words, immediately there's a penalty. Alright, there's a penalty on the writing score and you don't want to be penalized in such tests. So minimum you have to write 200 words because that's what the guideline says. Thank you. Well, there's a comment from Amrit as well. Sir, I have a fear in describe image. Please give me some tips. Well, Amrit, you get 25 seconds to describe image before the beep. So those 25 seconds are so that you can practice a bit. So in those 25 seconds, just start seeing what is on the screen and start speaking, just start speaking. Like on the screen, I can see an image. The image is about Australian housing prices. On the image, I can see that the highest value is $40,000 and the least value is $20,000. So just have some sort of structure ready in your mind, because in the test, there should be nothing like So the more relaxed you are, the better you'll be able to speak. And that's why the first 25 seconds, always speak. Don't sit there and do nothing. Just start speaking and do some warm-up exercise, right? So after the beep, you can repeat everything again. So that's okay. Thank you. Well, last question from Pareen. How to improve retail lecture? So Pareen, for retail lecture, try to note very quickly and just try to be as fluent as you can. Just try to be ready. Like the speaker was talking about Australian house prices. Moreover, from the lecture, I could also hear something about index of Australia. The speaker was also talking about India and Nepal. From the lecture, I could also hear words like China and Japan. Also, I heard that the speaker said that the Australian housing prices were increasing tremendously in 1990. Overall, the lecture was very interesting. So keep something ready in your mind. It's all about speaking with confidence and including the words from the audio in your answer, and that requires definitely some practice. That's it. Well, Sonia says, hi sir. Hi Sonia, thank you so much for the comment. Very good to see you. If not personally, then in the comment section. So good to see you. Hope you are well. Thank you for commenting. Thanks. Well, last comment from Andre. How to master reorder paragraphs. Well, for reorder paragraphs, just focus on making the pairs. And for the pairs, obviously, you need to focus on the words which are repetitive in the passage. And also focus on the timelines, 1990, 1980, very close, could be together. Also try to understand which nouns are there and which pronouns are there, because generally a pronoun comes after a noun, right? Noun, pronoun. Malcolm is a teacher. He is lazy. So who is he? He is Malcolm. So basically Malcolm, he makes sense. So basically try to find out proper nouns, common nouns, pronouns, timelines, just mainly about logic, nothing else. Less of English, more of logical skills. Thank you. Alright, last comment from Hiro Patel. Speaking is 87, reading is 68, listening and writing 73. Firstly, you're lacking in speaking. It's 87, but I think you're not speaking in the right way, Hiro, and that's why your speaking is not 90. Secondly, you need to work more on repeat sentence and answer short question. Thirdly, you also need to work on read aloud. Fourthly, there is some issue with your blanks. Definitely with your reading blanks, there is some issue. Fifth thing, there is also maybe some issue with reorder paragraphs. That could be one more area where you might need to focus a bit more. And last but not the least, you also need to work on summarize spoken text or write from dictation or listening fill in the blanks, because you're making some major mistake in one of these areas. All right, so work on those areas. Thank you. Well, one more comment is from Satya Silan. How to improve pronunciation? Best way to improve pronunciation is by not stressing on the words. Keep your voice very relaxed. Keep it flat. Don't stress on the words. All right, the more clear you are, the better the score will be. Third, always keep the mic below the mouth. Don't keep it ever in front of your mouth. Keep it a bit lower, okay? And fourthly, just try to speak in a way that you don't have any accent. Like people from India, for example, have a very strong accent depending on the region from where they come. Like people from Gujarat confuse sounds like sir and sh. Similarly, people from East India like Bengal and Kolkata also do have the same problem. So need to be very clear with the pronunciation. Pronunciation means the sounds. The more clear the sounds, the better the score will be. And never stress on the words. That's one of the easiest ways to improve the score of pronunciation. Okay, last question from Rohit Bakshi. In SST, is it mandatory to write any template, or can we approach by writing what the speaker has said? Of course, it's not compulsory, Rohit. A template is not compulsory at all. You can just write from the point of view of the speaker. The speaker said this. Moreover, information like so and so was added in the lecture. You can write your own words. It's okay. I mean, you're in your own way. You don't have to follow a template. It's not compulsory. Thank you. Well, friends, with that, I'll end the class today. I mean, the live session today. I hope it was helpful for all of you. And just a quick reminder again, next weekend, that's the 3rd and the 4th of August, I'm having my first live online masterclass. And people in India are more than welcome to join the class. I'll be waiting for you all there. So have a good weekend, all of you. Think PT tutorials. I'm Malcolm. Thank you.